Hey there, this is D. 2 years ago, director Michael Bay and producer Steven Spielberg released Transformers. It was a good movie, not to say a great movie, and so what if the focus was more on the humans than it was on the robots? I mean, it had some great effects, believable transformations, and the action was just spectacular. I'd highly recommend this movie. But too many people have complained that this movie did not stay true to what they believe to be the source material, i.e. the G1 series. Well, to those people, let me ask you, have you watched the G1 series recently? I mean, many of you complain that this movie had far too much action and much less story. Yeah, well, what's the story of the G1 series?
Many millions of years ago, on the planet Cybertron, life existed. But not life as we know it today. Intelligent robots that could think and feel inhabited the cities. They were called Autobots and Decepticons. But the brutal Decepticons were driven by a single goal: total domination. They set out to destroy the peace-loving Autobots, and a war between the forces of good and evil raged across Cybertron.
What? Just one good party and one bad? That just doesn't make any sense. There's not one war that works that way. In a war there are always two or more parties involved, but they always think the other one is bad. Well, I guess the writers even realized that much, so enter a turn of tide in this war.
Unless a new supply of energy is found, nobody is going to win this war.
By any chance, was the Bush family involved into making this series? These robots are supposed to be extraterrestrial, but you don't even need to take a closer look to realize that they just look like advanced versions of the machines that exist on this world. And look at this one. This one even has seats, as though it was meant for humans to be used. So anyway, as the story goes, they are rebuilt so they can change into machines from this world. For whatever reason. But trust me, this is only the beginning of the series. It only goes downhill from there. The snow falls upwards, women have blue hair, the robots can't seem to lift things with their bare hands, new characters suddenly appear without any explanation as to how or why they even arrived. And in that world, apparently saying things like this is funny.
Wheeljack wasn't kidding when he said it would blow in 60 seconds. 59.99 to be exact.
Oh, Power Glide just spotted your lost sheepicrons. Well, if he's not impressed, I'll be depressed. I will knock that flying sweaty right off his afterburners.
And even the transformations just look stupid. This here doesn't even look real. And there's a moment when 6 robots appear that can combine into one. Why does that sound familiar? Anyway, this would have looked great if it didn't look so silly. But again, that's the least of your worries. Because the size of these robots also tends to shift. Here you see Ironhide being carried into Ratchet, while both are clearly of the same size. And here's a machine that fits a human or a robot of the same size. So how does this guy even fit in it? Without any problem whatsoever. And here was a time when characters had to shrink to a certain size so they can crawl into Megatron's body, where he even moves his arm to look at his watch. Advanced robots that needs to wear a watch. Go figure. Anyway, since some of these robots, their sizes seem to shift the whole time, if not even change whenever they transform, that makes this the existence of this machine completely pointless. While we're at it, Perceptor, he's supposed to be an Autobot, right? Then why do we see him here with a Decepticon sign? The same goes with Soundwave, who's supposed to be a Decepticon, yet here we see him with an Autobot sign. Were the animators even paying attention when they were putting this together? Also, what's the point of these robots having these signs if the characters don't seem to either see, notice, or recognize them? Were they just added so they could do this? Well, I suppose it makes sense. I mean, one point you're with the Decepticons, the next you're with the Autobots. So I guess it's alright to put that in it. But then this happens. If we're still with the Autobots, then... why did you even use that cutscene in it? Somebody was a bit overzealous. Which is funny, considering continuity in this series. Early in the series, the Autobots are seen flying, yet later in the series, they need jetpacks to accomplish that. Seriously, who's writing this stuff? And what's with Optimus Prime's trailer that keeps disappearing and reappearing every time he transforms? Then there's this problem where you have two Starscreams appearing on screen at the same time. Well, I suppose that can be explained through this. In the series there are 3 robots of the same model, just different color. Well, whoever's coloring this series, if he or she got confused, that's a bit understandable. I mean, it even causes this to happen. Starscream 1 second, Thundercracker the next. Now, listen to this and try and tell me that this doesn't even sound familiar. With all these Star Wars sound effects, I'm surprised Megatron doesn't even speak with Darth Vader's voice. Speaking of Megatron, we've seen these Transformers transforming into trucks, ambulances, cars, jet fighters. Now what does Megatron transform into? A gun! One of the minions transforming into a gun for the leader to use, yes! But the leader himself transforming into a gun for one of his minions to use? What were these people smoking? Bottom line, this series just looked like a cheap commercial, of which the end result did not matter. As long as it just helps sell the product it was advertising. The animation is rushed. The story made no sense, continuity was non-existent, and the dialogue was just dumb. So those of you who complained that this movie didn't stay true to this cartoon series, for that matter, those of you who sent death threats to Michael Bay if he didn't let the movie stay true to it, well, let me tell you, if he did stay true to this cartoon series, I guarantee you the movie would have been a lot worse than it is now. Oh well, in a few weeks, the second movie will be released. I for one am looking forward to seeing it. This was D. I'm signing off.